I'm Chicken Little.
And I'm Henny Penny.
Once again presenting the controversial videotape received earlier today.
From a mysterious dimension parallel to the Earth, greetings to all round, fuzzy, squishy things. I am Colonel Cubicles, leader of the Bullion. We are speaking to you now to issue an ultimatum. Free the cubes. Free the cubes, or taste our vengeance. You have 24 hours.
We received this tape 23 hours and 50 minutes ago. What does it mean? Our expert joins us. Dr. Carl Cockerell, expert in crowd control and alien invasions.
Carl Cockerell, the Bullion. Should we be afraid?
We should always be afraid, Henny, whether a threat is real or not. If any stranger enters your area, remember to cluck hysterically, flap your wings, and run around in circles. We're chickens. That's what we do.
Thank you, Carl Cockerell. For News Center 12, I'm Henny Penny reminding you, if you want bread, you've got to help bake it.
And I'm Chicken Little. The sky is falling.
You know the old saying, when the cat's away, the mice will play? But what do chickens do when the farmer goes to town? Well, they have themselves a party. Oh, Mort was having the time of his life. Wait a minute, that's not the script.
Hello everyone and welcome to Mort the Chicken, or just Mort. Just Mort works fine. We're going to be starting a new game. Welcome to the first level. In all of the levels in this game, our goal is the same. We have to collect all of the missing chicks and then return to the well with said chicks. This level exists only to get you used to the basics, though it's not like there's a lot of basics to get used to. You can jump, you can glide by holding down the jump button, and you can run by pressing the R1 button. Running and then jumping makes you jump higher and further. Our health is represented by corn, which we can refill by picking up chicken feed that's lying around on the ground. The chicken feed respawns, so we're never in any real danger. The chicks are very small, it can be hard to spot, and there's no absolutely consistent design as to where they're placed, so the game will put them in some pretty difficult places sometimes. But finding the chicks is really the only challenge. And after we collect them all, we're free to leave.
Silence! I bring you horrible news. Silence! Through the miracle of fuzzy video, we, that is I, Cubicles, your leader, have learned that a number of our brethren are kept as slaves by the formless squishy things who live in the universe parallel to our own. They took our cubes. Silence! In retaliation, we took a number of the small squishy things, which we will keep until the cubes are released. Silence! These squishy things have sent a ruthless commando, known as Mort the Chicken, to rescue these small squishy things which we have captured. And he has met with some success. Therefore I, Cubicles, implore you, find this Mort the Chicken. Bounce on him. Run over him. Roll over him. Smash him. Spin on him. Damage him. Jump on him. Smash him. Smash Mort the Chicken. Mort the Chicken must fly. Silence! I, Cubicles, have spoken.
So let's get down to business. The chicks on this level are on the 3 platforms at the far ends of the level. There's a bunch of stuff in the center that we don't need to mess with, but we will anyway, because it's a good way to get used to our whip attack. We can whip our head at enemies with the circle button, and it kind of homes in on the nearest enemy, so you don't need to aim excessively. It even homes up or down. We can also peck enemies to death, but that is far less effective and has way less range. I'm going to show you exactly how useful our glide is once you get used to the controls. Right now. You can maneuver yourself in some pretty fancy ways if you get used to how the controls work. Mort controls very differently in the air than he does on the ground. That's not to say the directions are different or anything. This shield will prevent us from getting hurt. That's not to say the directions you press are different or anything, but he's a lot more floaty. I imagine intentionally. From here we can glide safely way back to the end of the level and exit. Usually we have to rescue 6 or 10 chicks. It's not usually a different number than that.
I'm Chicken Little.
And I'm Henny Penny.
Panic and pandemonium struck a sleepy farm today as odd cube-like creatures snatched up baby chicks, seemingly at random. Henny?
The number of chickens missing is still unknown. Our inability to count has hindered the effort. Chicken?
It all took place here, during the live taping of the popular Mort the Chicken television program. Mort and the wacky gang were apparently in the middle of a good old-fashioned hoedown when disaster struck.
Mort the Chicken himself, in an act of bravery or stupidity, leaped down the well after the chicks.
Why these cubes took the chicks remains a mystery. And there's an even bigger mystery. Henny?
TV's Mort the Chicken. Why would the star of a children's television show leap down a well?
Very unchicken-like.
What got into him? Is he insane?
Is he a hero or in cahoots with these cubes? Joining us for this discussion is Dr. Carl Cockerell, expert in television personality analysis and appropriate barnyard behavior. Dr. Cockerell, Mort the Chicken, help, hindrance, menace, hero?
Whatever else he is, Mort is a chicken. As a chicken, he is genetically hardwired for panic. By not panicking, he's betrayed his chicken nature and, by extension, us. If he's part of the problem, in other words, he's a problem, and if he's trying to solve the problem, well, he's still a problem.
So if he's helping, he's a problem, and if he's a problem, he's a problem.
Exactly.
Thank you, Dr. Cockerell.
My pleasure.
Until our next update, I'm Henny Penny. Don't count those chickens until they're hatched.
And I'm Chicken Little. Never cross the road, unless you know why.
Welcome to Hollywood, the first level with 10 chicks, and the first level where the chicks are actually in relatively challenging positions. It's also the first level where you actually have to get used to Mort's glide mechanic as opposed to just ignore it. In here there's a power-up. All these eggs have power-ups in them. This one's the spring, which enables us to jump way higher. We used it to get up here where we would otherwise have to glide from a different position. And we can see a chick on a very narrow platform, which there will be many of now. Some of them are still just kind of sitting around on the ground, though. The pink cubes always move back and forth in a set pattern, but they're just as easy to destroy as any of the other cubes are. The different colors of cubes do all behave differently, but to say you need to memorize their differences would be a lie. From here we can head up onto some narrow platforms and narrow walkways. Moving Mort the Chicken around is... well, it's... if you've played any other PS1 platformer, then you know what it's like, and it's okay. Making slight turns while still moving forward is the difficulty, but you can just avoid doing that and only move in basic directions the whole time and you'll be fine. The only reason I ever try to do that is because I'm using the analog stick instead of the control pad. We don't actually need to come to this area down here. There are no chicks down here. There are some stars which only give us points, which we're not interested in. I do think I mistakenly said that there were 10 chicks in this location. There are still only 6, or maybe 5. It doesn't matter. The important part is that it's an introduction to narrow ledges, which is what most of the gameplay is going to consist of from here on out. Or perhaps not most of it, but we're going to be seeing a lot more of them, is what I'm saying.